So you seem to be, your side looked really good in the first half, but then second half it kind of, the wheels maybe came off a little bit. What are your thoughts on your first game back?
I think we were organised first half. I think we tried to make sure we didn't leave gaps in between us. I think some of the things that both the boys have spoke about and I've seen is that they have been quite open at times. So we tried to make sure we were solid, to make them work for any goals they got, and we felt like we limited them to not a lot. I think they had a chance early on that was probably touching the offside, but then they didn't really create much first half, and so we were really pleased from that aspect. With the ball going forward, I don't think we didn't look very confident on the ball. I don't think we played the football that I'd like to play, but it's unrealistic to think you come in one game to a side that's been struggling for results and expect them to play, because it's difficult. Added on to that, having to play people out of position slightly, we were set up to be very defensively solid today, maybe not set up to play more expansive football. So I thought we did our jobs at half time. We felt we just didn't want the ball quite quickly enough, and that was something. But it was never going to be straight at it today. It was never going to be exactly where we wanted it to be. So one aspect that we wanted to make sure was we were just a bit more solid.
You say about players out of position, but actually Liam in front of defence and Jack Keeble, I thought they actually both played really well and really got in amongst them.
Well, I'm sure if you ask the back four, they worked and they broke up so much of their play.
Yeah.
The problem is, particularly when the opposition go down to 10 men, you're then relying on defensive players to be your creative players, and the expectation then is for them to be able to open play and open the opposition up. So from what I asked them to do today, I thought they did a really good job. They were really solidly defensively. Realistically, we just haven't quite got the numbers in at the moment. And when you come in, you have a few days. There's approaches go out, but that takes time to come through. So yes, we've got a few over the line, and that's been pleasing. But we know the squad's a little bit short in terms of numbers, and people playing that position sort of highlights that. I was pleased with them for what I asked them to do today.
Was there anyone in particular who stood out for you today?
Well, I thought as a back four, I thought we looked quite good. I thought Stacey coming in, considering he's had a couple of weeks without playing, his organisation and his and the way he plays, I thought he added to us. Give us a bit of bite back there. I thought Beckham was very good, but and as well, you have to look. We start with 3 under-18s. Nathan up front 17, the goalkeeper and Kaya, 3 under-18 lads who have come in and haven't looked out of depth. They've worked hard. It's a bit of learning the level and learning how to play against big physical guys. But so those boys did really well. But I can't really question anybody for what I've asked them to do today. It was just a little bit of quality on the ball that, for me, is where we struggled.
And what about the goal? Was that? I just said to Beckham, I thought it was just an excellent free kick and a really good bit of movement. But
it was a good free kick and it was good movement. The issue is if you look at us as a side, we're physically very small.
Yeah.
And we're asking. Thiago ended up picking up a guy who got a run on him. And for us, this league is unforgiving if you're physically not very big. It was good delivery, it was good movement, good header. For us, we just lost our runner, and we can only look at what we do. The players that we'd like to bring in physically. If you look at Sam Spencer, injured today. Charlie Sanders suspended today. Sam Murphy, obviously registration didn't go through in time for today's game. They're 3 very big lads, and what happens is your markers pick them, but there's always another one. And that's where we're a little bit disappointed in terms of we conceded a goal that I think if everyone was fit and available, we're probably a bit better at defending set piece. So I felt all day long whenever there was a set piece, there was a real danger against us.
Right. And players coming in, you still looking to bring some players in?
Yeah, and we are. I think you look at the side, and this is a side built to get the ball down and play through the thirds and pace in the top end. But if you look at it today, pitch was in good. They worked hard on the pitch from where it was Thursday, but against a big physical side, it's very difficult to play. And a side that's lacking in confidence, and when probably not the middle of midfielders who are genuine middle of midfielders, it's very difficult to get the wide lads 1v1. So today, I was a bit disappointed with the football we played, but I think that's down to the confidence that the boys have got. And you can go out and say to them, look, try and play risky passes, try and play into midfield and get it off. But unfortunately, when you've not been winning games, lads are a little bit reluctant to do that, and that's understandable. So it was nice to be competitive, but I feel if we're gonna compete, one, we need to be physically a little bit stronger in terms of the bodies we put out, but also we have to keep the ball a little bit longer.
How much of an impact then are you looking to create on the squad? You mentioned when you arrived that you're not here just for till the end of the season.
Yeah.
So what kind of effect are you looking to create?
Well, I think the signings we've made, obviously the young lads coming in from Posh are getting work experience, and they're not long-term signings, but they are people who will help us out between now and the end of the season. I think Stacey, Murph coming back, Beckham coming back, they're people who the football club know, and they've come back because they want to play at this football club, and they're signings that are not here for 12 games, 13 games. They're here to hopefully build something. I've said to them before today, 13 games that we've got to, one, stay up, but also improve significantly, so come next season we're ready to whatever league that may be in terms of whether it's move step 4, we've got to be ready to go and hit the ground running. So the signings, yes, we need short-term success, we know that, but we also want to make sure we're building a squad that if we can have success between now and the end of the season, we can then kick on from the summer.
What do you think of the fans today? It was one of the best crowds recently.
Well,
they really got behind the team, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think new, obviously the change of manager, a few players coming in, that will always hopefully attract a few. They were brilliant because, I'll be honest, yes, we showed fight and they expect that. The football we played probably wasn't what we would like it to be. But then, as I said, we trained Thursday night. We've had no real time to work on anything. So where we're saying about how we're going to try and play out, it's a conversation before a game rather than us actually working on it. So this isn't a criticism of the lads because their confidence is low and we're asking new things of them. But I would hope the supporters, I would hope, know that this is going to be a fight. But the boys showed a bit of fight today. They showed they wanted to play for the shirt. They showed they wanted to do the hard graft. And if we put performances like that in and add a bit of quality with the ball and get some bodies back in terms of those injured and suspended players, I'm confident. I'm more confident today than I was going into it because we've seen these are 4 points off the Palace with 4 games in hand, and we have to be realistic about it. We've been here 4 or 5 days, so yes, we want to get a result today. Yes, we want to get a result next week, but it's going to take a couple of weeks to get the bodies in and work with them. Probably the last 10 games are huge for us. I feel we'll pick up points. The sending off hurt us today a little bit because once the sending off came, then we lost our shape and we tried probably to do things, and we opened ourselves up. Within 5 minutes probably of the sending off, they had 2 corners, 2 free kicks because we were suddenly getting exposed where we hadn't been for the previous sort of 70 minutes. And that's because we're probably not used to doing that, not used to getting on the ball and opening it and being really wide and expansive, which is what we needed.
And what are you looking to maybe take into the next few home games, especially because you've got quite a cluster coming here as well?
Yeah, I mean, home or away, I think that you've got to play the same way home and away. And if we can be as defensively solid and hard working and organised as we are today, and then add a bit more possession on the football. The problem I felt today was we did hook it on rather than just taking a touch and passing it, and that does come with confidence and belief to get a touch and pass it to the next to one of your teammates comes with a bit of belief in yourselves. They should take belief from today because we conceded 6 against them a month ago, and we've conceded 1 from a good set piece today, and realistically I don't think the goalkeepers made too many saves other than that. So from us, defensively an improvement, but it's obvious where the areas are going forward.
Okay, so Beckham, well played today. What are your thoughts on your first game back under a new manager?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought first half we played really well, defensively really well. And as a team, I thought we'd done really well first half, getting in 0-0. They started off on the front foot. They had a few chances. Keeper made some really good saves, but then I thought we grew into the game, and then obviously second half they had a set man sent off, and I think we kind of went for the game as expected, as we're at the bottom of the league, but the gaffer mentioned afterwards that maybe we should have had a bit more experience in maybe not going gung-ho and going for the game. We should have stayed a bit more compact, but yeah, those things happen when you're at the bottom and you're trying to win games and you want to get 3 points.
How do you feel playing alongside a new player, as you mentioned in Kai Rudek Gregory, and also other new signings as well?
Yeah, no, I thought Kai played really well. I thought we worked together really good. We talked well, and Stace as well at left back. Obviously he's got a lot of experience, and he taught well as well. We had a good game. And then obviously Nathan as well up front, come in, done well. And as I said before, goalkeeper had a good game. You know, made some really good saves. So yeah, happy and looking forward to things to come. And next week against Frickley.
What are kind of the key things that you saw out there that you'd hope to try and improve on? You know, both personally and as a team.
Well, it's obviously scoring goals is as well, not conceding. You go to think last game against Carlton we lost 6-4, conceded 6 goals, and we only conceded 1 today, so that's a positive. Obviously we didn't score today, we had a few chances, but it'll come. Obviously you got Charlie who's been suspended, he's to come back in. He's been scoring a few goals recently.
As well as though you've come back from St Ives, so step 3, maybe do you feel more at home here at Wisbech?
Yeah, that's what I said as well. I spoke to Spenny. I feel more at home with the supporters. Like from when I obviously had the injury, they've been well supportive of me. I've turned up to like quite a few of the games, and they've always asked how I am, and they've always been welcoming. They're singing songs and everything like that as well. So that was a major part in coming back, and obviously with Brett as well coming in, new changes, new players, and different things he wants to do. So it was a good decision for me to come back.
And finally, then, how do you think that you can help Wisbech Town survive this year, personally, and obviously trying to be a pivotal part of the team?
Just carry on trying to not concede goals, defending. Just defending in general and giving the ball to players that can do the good things and score goals. And I think that's all we can do. Is as long as we keep clean sheets, we'll get chances in games, and I believe that we'll get some results in the coming weeks.
And the team chemistry, could that be improved as well along the way?
Do you know what? We've got a really good dressing room. All the players are really together. Even all the new lads that come in. I think they've all been welcomed in well. So I think we've actually got a good dressing room. We just need to take that out onto the pitch and put in some better performances.